Tonight, two men are to stand trial accused of helping to organise months of violence and fire bombings across the central belt of Scotland. Also making the headlines, a man falls to his death after a fire in a North Lanarkshire tower block. We head to Fife, where locals hope the end of the Outlander TV series doesn't mean the end of visitors. And in sport, as Kieran Tierney emerges as a doubt for the Scottish Cup quarter-final against Rangers, Danny Rule calls on his players to silence the large Celtic support at Ibrox. And if you're on a wee calf or just heading out for the weekend, how about checking out those utterly adorable hairy beasts? I'm John Mackay. This is the STV News at 6. Good evening. Two men are to stand trial accused of helping to organise months of violence and fire bombings across the central belt of Scotland. It's alleged 32-year-old Andrew Quinn and James Quinn, who's 27, were involved in a plot to murder a number of people with links to organised crime. The alleged victims' names on court documents include members of the notorious Daniel family and Mark Richardson, the convicted drug dealer who is seen as a senior Gangland figure. Here's our senior reporter, Gordon Cree.
In April last year, videos posted on social media showed fires being set at two houses in Bishopbriggs. Prosecutors say this was part of a plot to kill. They say Anthony Quinn and James Quinn conspired with associates to assault, endanger the lives and murder 17 people in a number of attacks between September 2024 and May 2025. It's alleged the Quinns were part of a group known as TMJ or Tamo Junto, and others were recruited to carry out crimes in exchange for money, drugs or work. The attempted murder charges detail a string of incidents. It's said a property in Glasgow's Ashgill Road was firebombed on the 7th of April 2025. The same day, similar attacks are alleged to have happened at Gala Street in Ridley and Meadow Court in Steps. The indictment names a number of people who were in the houses at the time. Then, a week later, claims of more fire-raising, this time at Colston Drive in Bishopbriggs and nearby John Marshall Drive. The charges state members of the Daniel family were inside those properties. Then, 3 days later, fires in Edinburgh's Niddry Marshall Crescent, Prestonfield Crescent and Pitcairn Grove. It's the home of David McMillan, a businessman with links to this man, Mark Richardson, a convicted cocaine dealer regarded as a key figure in the gangland scene. It's also alleged Andrew Quinn engaged in electronic communication with another to murder Richardson in return for cash. The Quinns are also accused of plotting together and engaging with others to assault and kill a child in April 2025. The indictment also alleges a business known as the Carpet Store in Bishopbriggs was wrecked in a fire the same month, although this one is not listed as an attempted murder. James Quinn and another man, 37-year-old Craig Swankie, are also charged with a plan to attack people with weapons and a fire in Glasgow's Maryhill. Andrew Quinn faces further allegations of trafficking cocaine, heroin and cannabis. All the allegations on the indictment are said to have connections to serious and organised crime. The Quinns and Swankie deny all the charges. The trial is scheduled to take place in April next year. Gordon Cree, STV News, Edinburgh.
Investigations are continuing tonight following the death of a man who fell from a tower block in Motherwell as emergency services tackled a fire. The blaze broke out during the night and police say the man was seen falling from a window. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Tara Fitzpatrick has more.
Well, emergency services and forensic teams have been coming and going from Grange Tower behind me all afternoon. Police have confirmed that a man was seen falling from the building here, and I've been speaking with neighbours who say they saw him receiving CPR from officers, but he was later pronounced dead. Now, the full scale of the circumstances into his death are still under investigation. Last night we know that residents did call fire crews with reports of an electrical smell. What we now know is that that was from a fire which broke out on the 12th floor of the building. It took around 40 firefighters to tackle that blaze, and in the daylight today the full scale of that damage has become clear. The window panes have been melted and the walls have been blackened by the smoke. We understand that most residents were told to stay put by emergency services while those investigations were being carried out. And in fact, many of them have told me it wasn't until this morning, when they saw the full scale of that emergency service response, that they understood what had happened here. Now, the building has been deemed safe for those living here, but police say that inquiries into what happened are continuing. Tara Fitzpatrick, STV News, Motherwell.
The Edinburgh-based beer brand Innocent Gun has been sold to the owner of Tennent's in a pre-packaged administration deal worth £4.5 million. It follows the rescue deal for Brewdog earlier this week. The brewery, as well as 3 pubs, were not included and will now close. More than 100 jobs could be at risk. A difficult pregnancy could be one of the reasons why a pod of pilot whales stranded in Lewis 3 years ago. More than 50 mammals died after being stuck near Tolsta in July 2023. Experts say one of the females was struggling to give birth and the others followed her into shallow water because of their social nature. It's the end of an era for Outlander fans this weekend as the show airs its 8th and final season. 1 in 5 tourists coming to Scotland visit popular film and TV sets they've seen on their screens. And while fans of the show may be saying goodbye to some of their favourite characters, experts say the hit series will continue to drive visitors for years to come, as Amy Flett reports.
It's a series that's captured the hearts of millions around the world. Now, after more than a decade, Outlander's 8th and final season is airing this weekend, following years of filming across some of Scotland's most iconic landscapes, including here on the Royal Mile in 2017. But it's also shone a light on quieter corners of the country, like Couris in Fife. And people working and visiting today say it's created a real buzz around the village.
I love the history, the Scottish history, and the guy who plays the main part's quite nice too.
I thought it was brilliant for Scotland, really fab for Scotland.
A bit of hustle and bustle going on over the last couple of years and stuff like that, but I've always been a little bit unsure what it's actually been for.
It's amazing, yeah, it's just like stepping into the series once you're here.
Dubbed the Outlander effect for local businesses, the show has brought a huge boost in footfall.
When tourists come here and they spend money here, and it is very good for Scotland, and it is advertised for Scottish culture. In the summer, maybe about 200 or 300 per day.
While the series may be coming to an end, the tourism it sparked in Scotland certainly isn't expected to die down anytime soon. But for those living here, the volume of visitors can prove testing.
It can be challenging if your village or your homes becomes a film set. So it's like, how do you balance that? I think one of the words that the work that we do at Visit Scotland is think about what are all the other locations that people can visit and encourage people to visit responsibly. So I mean, there's over 50 locations from Outlander, for example, across Scotland that people can visit, and that we're trying to balance it and encourage people, to do so in a respectful way, because at the end of the day, it isn't a movie set, it is actually people's home.
Frank Randall, he wrote.
The final season of Outlander premieres on Prime Video tomorrow, but with its prequel Outlander Blood of My Blood just beginning, it's unlikely to be the last time Scotland features as the backdrop to this historic romance. Amy Flett, STV News, Couris.
A 16-year-old boy and 44-year-old man who died in a car crash near Fort William have been named. Kai Matheson and David Allen Mackay were found in a vehicle which had caught fire at Corpach last month. Royal Mail has suspended deliveries to some residents in Renfrewshire following an alleged attack at a postman. Police are investigating reports of an assault on Carrick Road in Bishopton last Wednesday. Royal Mail told residents that the level of risk when delivering is unacceptably high. A man who organised anti-immigration protests outside a hotel housing asylum seekers has been fined more than £500 for threatening a police officer. Conor Graham admitted acting aggressively outside the Cladden Hotel in Falkirk last December. A young Glaswegian girl is currently in Los Angeles getting ready for the most exciting night of her life as she's nominated for Best New Young Performer at the Saturn Awards. 12-year-old Sophie Sloan has a lead role in the sci-fi film Dust Bunny. She joined Laura Boyd from America to talk about her big break.
What did you see?
A monster.
Dust Bunny, a whimsical action horror film starring Sigourney Weaver, Mads Mikkelsen and young Scottish actress Sophie Sloan, who played the lead part of Aurora, a little girl who finds more than monsters under her bed.
A monster didn't eat your parents.
Not a bad cast to kick off your first movie with.
They're such amazing people, like, they're such amazing actors, and like, I love how when I'm on set, when I'm watching them act, like, I can even look up to them. Like when I'm watching them act, and they're both just such like helpful people when I'm on set. Also, like, they help me whenever I'm stuck with anything. They're so kind. My acting coach actually got a little book at the end, and people wrote some stuff in it. So Sigourney wrote how Aurora was a hero in the movie, and that I should just always like be my true self on set and just be a hero.
Sophie, who began attending the Performance Academy Theatre School when she was just 4 years old, is now nominated for a prestigious award in LA this weekend.
So I'm going to attend a Saturn Awards ceremony because I've been nominated for Best Child Performer in a Film.
That is so exciting.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm more on the excited side.
And where can we see you next, Sophie? Because you've got more film work in the pipeline, haven't you?
I have got a film coming out later in 2026 called 0AD. I played the young Mary in it, and Deva Cassell, she played the older Mary.
Amazing. Right, well, listen, we are super excited for you. We wish you all the luck in the world, fingers crossed. And if you win, will you come back to us and show us your trophy and everything?
Yes, hello.
Best of luck to Sophie at the Saturns. What a star. Laura Boyd, STV News, Glasgow.
Raman's here with the sport, and last week we were talking about the Old Firm. Well, last 30 years we've been talking about the Old Firm, but we're talking about the Old Firm again tonight.
30 years? Would have been 5 years old, John.
Oh, were you?
Yes, it's ding ding round two. Last week the Rangers and Celtic faced each other in the Premiership. On Sunday it's in the Scottish Cup, where there has to be a winner.
STV Sport, sponsored by the C.R. Smith Spring Sale.
Any believers out there? Good evening. Martin O'Neill admits it'll be a huge blow if Kieran Tierney is ruled out of this weekend's Scottish Cup quarter-final against Rangers, describing Tierney as colossal for the team. The defender is a doubt due to injury. Meanwhile, Dan Rule says his side can silence Celtic's 7,500 travelling fans on Sunday if his team repeat last week's first-half display for 90 minutes against their city rivals. Ronnie Charters reports.
Kieran Tierney has been hugely influential in recent games. First, sparking the revival at Ibrox in their 2-2 draw with Rangers. Then finding the net again, opening the scoring against Aberdeen on Wednesday night. But the left-back also sustained a foot injury in the same game at Pittodrie.
Kieran, for a start, although the injury had to his foot, is actually clearing up, but he's just generally sore in every aspect. So we'll see how he is tomorrow.
Just how big has he been for you? It would be a huge miss for you if he.
It would be, yeah. Honestly, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but I think he's been colossal for us. Really has. You know, there was times when I came back in the first spell that I thought, I wonder will he ever get to the level that he was before. But he's come roaring back here, honestly. But he's been fantastic for us.
Unlike last weekend's derby, Celtic will receive the full Broomloan Road stand of Ibrox, meaning over 7,500 away fans, something O'Neill hopes can make all the difference.
I've been advocating for it to happen for both clubs to open up again, because it is a fantastic fixture, and it's made even much better because of the full allocation.
But for his counterpart, Danny Rule, he's hoping his players can put in a performance that silences the away fans.
If we play 50 minutes like we did, then the 7,500 will also quite I think this is the part in the game. You feel it. We can influence, we can make the impact on our performance on the pitch, and the atmosphere was incredible. 50 minutes, really incredible.
Despite a blistering first half, Rangers that came unstuck in the second 45, with the spotlight falling on the Ibrox head coach.
We did some things what we shouldn't do again, and yeah, I start always by myself, take the responsibility. I think I take the responsibility for the first half, and I take also the responsibility for the second half, because this is my job.
A Scottish Cup semi-final place at Hampden Park awaits the winner. The stakes could not be higher. Ronnie Charters, STV Sport.
Well, the Scottish Cup quarter-finals get underway at East End Park tonight, where Neil Lennon's Dunfermline Athletic host cup holders Aberdeen. Let's now hear from him and the rest of the managers ahead of their last 8 ties.
We're buzzing now. We're absolutely can't wait for it. We want to kick off right now if we could. So yeah, huge occasion. We've been there not so long ago. We managed to get to a Scottish Cup semi-final, our first taste of VAR, and it certainly put me off VAR very quickly.
A lot of positivity, a lot of confidence going into the game, obviously off the back of the last result as well. But I think league form goes out the window in competitions like this. You know, it's making sure that we rise to the occasion.
We're at home, and there's going to be a bumper crowd here again. I was really pleased with the way the players handled the occasion against Hibs. The mentality was good, so we're going to need more of that again. It's all about temperament and you know playing well on the day, and we did that against Hibs, and we're going to have to do it all again.
It's a big game. As I said, we're the holders, want to retain the title, but that's not be a tough test. Obviously, Dunfermline put out Hibs before, so it'll be a tough game.
We've obviously been in a sticky run in the league. It allows us to get, focused now and clear our minds a little bit as well, and really go and focus on this game, because a real opportunity. We know we face a very good Partick side that are doing very well.
If you can put a Premiership side in the lead up to a semi-final, it would do wonders for the club. And of course at Mirren, already cup holders themselves, so we know how difficult it's going to be against Stephen Robinson's side. But I would just, it would just galvanise everybody and bring everybody together right in time for the final push.
Some cracking ties there. Well, there's one match in the Premiership tomorrow, and Motherwell will go to within a point of third-place Rangers if they defeat Dundee at Dens Park. Jens Bertho Asku's side are in red-hot form. They've won 7 out of their last 9 league games. The Steelmen have taken 4 out of a possible 6 points against Dundee this season. To rugby, and Scotland captain Sione Chipolotto says he isn't shying away from the enormity of their showdown against France tomorrow. A victory for Scotland at Murrayfield will keep them in the hunt to win the Six Nations for the first time. Here's Jamie Borthwick.
Ready for their biggest test. After a stuttering start in Rome, Scotland powered to victory over England and showed their grit away to Wales. And that sets up a huge chance for a shot at the Six Nations title.
Yeah, massive, isn't it? I don't know, I'm not hiding away from that at all. And I think that's the balance, isn't it? Is that to understand as a group, yeah, this is one of the biggest games we've played as a group, and that's a good thing, and let's see what it brings out of us here at home. So that's the mentality, is that I really want to earn another week with the team. And I know things next week are still available, if things don't go right, but that's not my mentality. If things don't go right, I want to earn another week with this group, chasing the main goal, and that's lifting the Six Nations trophy.
France can secure the title tomorrow with a bonus point win and keep themselves on course for a Grand Slam. But even the finest players in the world are wary of the Scots.
They have a lot of threat in their back line, a lot of talented player, and we can expect anything from them. We have seen that from the beginning of the tournament. We have to be ready for everything on the field. We have to be very focused if we want to win tomorrow.
Scotland were cruelly denied victory the last time these sides met at Murrayfield. France arrive in Edinburgh this year as overwhelming favourites.
They've shown over the last 2 or 3 games they're the best attacking team in the world over the 2 or 3 games, but it's the next game that counts. As we approach the England game, we know we have to be up there at 9 out of 10 level to beat these top teams, and that's what we're working towards.
Scotland have never gone into the last weekend of the Six Nations with a shot at winning the championship. It will take one of their best performances tomorrow afternoon, but the chance is there to set up an epic finale. Jamie Borthwick, STV Sport, Murrayfield.
Tennis, and Jacob Fairley will face world number 7 Taylor Fritz tomorrow for a place in the last 32 of Indian Wells. Fairley set up the second round clash after defeating Damir Zhumer in straight sets 6-3, 6-3 last night. American Fritz won this tournament in 2021.
STV Sport, sponsored by the C.R. Smith Spring Sale.
And tomorrow, Scotland's women's side face Luxembourg for the second time in 5 days in a World Cup qualifier at Hampden. They beat them 5-0 in the previous game, John, which I think is called a thrashing.
I think that's a good description, Raman. Thank you for bringing your knowledge to bear there. Thank you. Let's move on to real knowledge here. Sean,
I love that, yeah. You'd always slag it off as well and say I just make it up.
Well, right. You're a serious meteorologist. Right. So it's been a lovely spring day, you did tell us that. But actually, you had a surprise this morning.
Well, not too much of a surprise for me because I knew it was coming, of course.
Did you?
Yes, I just didn't know as much as this was coming. Have a look at this. This was actually at home this morning. Plenty of snow around this morning. Very cold as well. Now, of course, most of us had rain last night, but as the rain cleared away, it got a little bit colder. And, of course, we saw that rain turning to snow over high ground. It wasn't just me that headed out into the hills to enjoy that snow. I took little Red Riding Hood, otherwise known as my dog Harris, out to enjoy that snow. But it was nice to see plenty of sunshine around today. More of that to come tomorrow. Let's have a look.
Wet by the coast, with a high chance of sun and splashing. TUI sponsors STV Weather.
So I have fantastic news for you. Tomorrow is going to be lots of sunshine, a lovely spring day to come. As I say, I can use the word spring because meteorologically speaking it is. We've got high pressure to the east of us, and that is keeping, thankfully, that weather front at bay, marooned over the Western Isles this weekend. So the good news is here it stays dry and sunny, especially, as I say, through tomorrow. Now, overnight tonight, dry, clear spells. Now, the further south and east we head, especially into higher areas in the borders, South Lanarkshire, where we did see that snow last night, where we've still got it lying. Temperatures will be down to about -2, -3, and of course, we've seen a bit of a thaw today. There will be some icy patches, but for many of us, a cold night to come and a bit frosty into tomorrow morning. Now, not much to say about the weather map. That is great news, of course, because it just means it's a sunny day. There's that weather front you can see right in the top left of the screen. Now, we are just a little bit closer to the weather front across likes of Jura and Isla, so we will see some patches of cloud coming in, but let's not worry too much about it. 9 or 10 degrees Celsius, so feeling nice in that sunshine. As we run eastwards towards Bute, across Argyll into Inverclyde and Bartonshire, we've got that sunshine. Temperatures about 10 degrees Celsius, maybe 11 or 12 by the time we get to Falkirk and also Stirling, so it's going to feel lovely in that sunshine during tomorrow. So a lovely day to come tomorrow. On Sunday we see a little bit more cloud and the risk of a few showers. Bye-bye.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
And finally, never mind the news, here's the Daily Moose. Hoof it down to Pollock Park in the south side of Glasgow and search out their newest residents. Over 20 utterly adorable Highland calves. Who writes this? Our reporter Vidushi Tiwari has been milking this story all day.
It's feeding time at Pollock Park, the only thing that'll distract these mums from their newborns. 3 calves have been born here in the last week alone. They're a favourite with the public, with dozens turning out to say hello to the newborns.
They are the cutest thing ever.
They're so fluffy. I would like to cuddle them, but it's not possible.
They're adorable.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
The tiny ones are adorable. We came just for them. We saw them online. We were like, yes, it's calving season.
I'm here to see if they've got fringes when they're born, but they're too far away, so I can't see. It's always nice to come and check out the Highland cows, especially at springtime. It's really good.
The hairy coat and those big horns and just their personalities as well. It's quite amazing how each individual animal has its own personality.
For their keepers, it marks the long-awaited transition into spring.
Coming through the winter time where the weather's not really good, you get the turn of the spring, and then you get your calves born. Really, really busy time. The park becomes massively busy because the weather's changed as well. The calves are out, everybody loves to see them, and we can get the calves ready, and then we go into our kind of show event season, so it's all going all year round.
And with over 20 more due to be born by May, there's lots of time to get a special moment with these utterly adorable coos. Vidushi Tiwari, STV News.
Very cute. That's it from us. Have a great weekend.